Call this July 8th Jackson County Commission work session to order. Roll call, Ms. Clerk.
District 1, District 2, District 3, District 4.
Present.
Quorum is present. We have an invocation by Mr. Porter and our pledge by Mr. Governor. Item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. This is a work session. We have 4 items to discuss this evening. Do we have a motion or do we have any changes before we proceed? A motion to approve the agenda of those 4 items.
So moved.
Motion, we have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. Okay. We've had no one to sign up to speak this evening, so we'll move straight into our discussion items. And the first one is regarding the natural gas pipeline. Mr. Gray, Mr. Gray.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, I'm Logan Gray. I'm the Southern Strategy Group in Montgomery, Alabama. With me is Mr. Brian Fairfall with Spectra Energy. Our purpose here this afternoon is to inform you of a potential pipeline project that will be coming through Jackson and Caddo County. This is a project that will extend from Tennessee through this corner of Alabama on down to Atlanta. About 22 miles of it will come through this county. In the process, there will be an easement, a potential easement going through there. A line will be drawn. Landowners on either side, 300 feet either side of that line, will be notified that they are in a potential easement zone, and they will be contacted about potentials of using their land for this easement, for this gas pipeline. This should be a big economic development incentive for this, or help for your incentive program for this area, and that you will have a source of natural gas that you don't presently have. We are here just to tell you that this is coming. It's in the planning process. There's a long process from point A to point Z. It takes several years, about 3 years, I'd say, to get this done. It has to go through the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. There are a lot of steps that it has to go through to get there. One of the things that Spectra is noted for in the industry is their safety record. They have an outstanding safety record. And I think if any of you will just use common sense when it comes to safety, there's really no shortcuts. I think we've seen enough problems here in recent past of companies that did have to take shortcuts, and it's cost lives and cost them, in one case, billions of dollars. They believe in safety first, and it will be a safe project, and economically will be an incentive to this area and should help. We're here to let you know that if you have any questions, please contact us. We want you to know about this early. If you run into anybody that has any kind of concern, please let us know, and we will get with them and address their concerns.
They left their contact information in the commission office if you all have received one, and I think they spoke with several of you. But any questions or any additional questions or comments at this time?
I would like to ask one. You said the people will be notified that this adversely affects,
Yes.
as far as where the line goes.
Right.
What happens in the case where someone would rather you not come through where the easement's at? Have you had that situation?
Yes, sir. And that's there's right-of-way agents that deal with that,
Sure.
and so that would be their purview. But that's why we're out here early to
Okay.
see whether or not a feasible route is going to be happening. And that's, as I mentioned to early, when you early develop a pipeline, you start at point A to point B and you draw a straight line.
Sure.
And then there's other factors where you have to deviate from that straight line. So that would be part of the rationale of going through the corridor, and then having discussions with the right-of-way agents and those particular individuals or landowners or whatever that say, you know, it's best if you go here because it's a much easier route. Here's why. The other thing is that if there's a electric transmission line or another pipeline, we try to co-locate near those easements already in place. But go back to your original question. That would be between the right-of-way agents that will be contacting those landowners and try to determine the best route, and that would be a negotiation between those.
Is that one of the first steps, so is contacting these folks
Yes.
before
Yes,
you go through a lot?
As Mr. Gray said, some landowner letters may be going out at the end of this month, and so we wanted to be out in front and let you guys know as well that that's coming. And that's why we left the contact information for you. Thank you for letting me see.
Construction of this project for 3 years.
About that. And back
That 3 years in Jackson County or 3 years of completion?
From the time they get the go-ahead or the green light, they've still got to go through the Federal Regulatory Commission, Energy Regulatory Commission. So I'm thinking it's probably 2017.
May of
maybe
2017.
Everything goes smoothly, it would be that. And on your right-of-way, you know, you've got some row crop farmers here. They'd be able to go back over that. About the right-of-way, you don't want to have trees, or you don't want to have a structure built over it. You put a road across it, but it's not going to interfere with your row crop farmers. They'll be able to still till the soil.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments at this time? Thank you, sir.
You have a comment?
I do, yes, sir. There you are.
Next item on the agenda is amended minutes of the April 23rd, 2013 meeting. Have a copy of those minutes in your packets. And the change on this is to include a resolution for the purchase of the dump truck. Your second page there. And this is not the amended copy of the resolution, so I need to get that before we vote on it. It's apparently not, so we'll take care of that and get that to you at the next work session. Any questions on that at this time? Just to clarify. Okay. Next item, Marshall Jackson Mental Health Board appointment. The term of Dr. Melinda Atkins has ended for the Mental Health Board, and I'd like to ask that we take applications or anyone that would be interested to submit a letter in writing by July 22nd at 4:30 p.m. and then the commission can choose once those notices have been received. But if there's no opposition, I'd like to pursue with this appointment that way.
What day?
July 22nd, 4:30 p.m. Anyone that's interested will need to get information. It's a 6-year term. It'll begin immediately once it's been appointed and go through April of 2019. Any questions or comments on that? Okay. Next item is regarding the AirVac Life Team membership. You have in your packets a copy of the agreement that have been agreed in the past by the county. This is to allow our county employees to participate in this AirVac. In other words, if they're using vehicle on county time, or they're out on the road on county time and they get injured on the job and need to be flown out, this would cover that situation. I believe it's been done for the past couple of years. I'm not sure how far back it goes, but we'll need to approve this if we wish to continue doing this. So any questions or comments on this item?
Is this a blanket coverage, or is this going to be, will all the individuals be covered when they're not at work also?
I believe this covers only on the job.
Only on the job?
And if it's just from this provider, you have the different ambulance service, different helicopter service.
Right, it would only be AirVac.
You think there'd be a lot of different, just 30-something?
We won't put this on the following meeting unless anyone wishes that we do. Otherwise, we'll give time a couple weeks to review this and place this on the next meeting, which I believe will be the 22nd. Okay. If there's no objections, then that's how we will proceed. Okay, that concludes the items on our work session agenda, so we'll move on to our reports. Mr. Widener? Mr. Porter? I don't know. Mr. Miller?
No, sir.
Mr. Guthrie?
No, sir.
Mr. Venable?
No, sir.
And Mr. Ledley?
No, sir.
Okay. So with that concludes our work session agenda. We will now recess and move forward with our meeting agenda, which will have nothing on it, but look, appears to be. So we'll dispense with the formalities since we've already had a roll call and invocation. We have no one to sign up again. As far as the agenda goes, I'd like to ask that we remove that one item until we get an amended version of it. We do have the minutes from the June 24th meeting on here. So we'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the June 24th meeting. Motion, we have a second. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. Okay, moving on to approve the agenda of the meeting. Again, I request that we remove the one item that was under new business. Do we have any items that need to be added? We have a motion to accept the agenda with that change.
So moved.
Motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. We have no old business, no new business now. So unless there are anything else from the commission, we will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I would like to mention the date on the community meeting.
All right.
July the 30th, our community meeting is going to be at Dutton Town Hall. It's going to be in the news, so just making all aware.
That's at 6 p.m.
6 p.m. Dutton Town Hall.
Anything else? Anything else, Mr. Guthrie? Mr. Vetterman? Okay. That concludes everything then. We'll entertain a motion to adjourn our meeting. Motion, we have a second. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say